it sends me to the peak. Without no regret, you got no love. Without no love, you got no regret. Without no regret, you got no love. A melody where I belong in this life.
Hi everyone, Post 22 Baseball is on the air from the Great Northwest. We are in Pullman, Washington for the Palouse Summer Series. It's an annual Legion Baseball tournament hosted by the Washington State baseball staff, and Post 22 is part of it for the first time in their team's history. And their opponent tonight will be a team out of the Spokane area, the Spokane Crew, the opponent for Post 22 tonight, that comes into the game with a record of 29 wins, 3 losses. And let's see, Mark Benetti with us, of course. And Mark, is that 8 wins in a row now for Post 22?
That is 8 wins in a row and 22 out of their last 23 contests. And we talked about it ad nauseum last night, that this team is rolling in all phases of the game, particularly on offense. They seem to find any way possible to score. They've scored now, I believe the stat that I gave you was they've scored in 30 of their last 39 innings played. So offense like that, you should be steamrolling opponents, which is exactly what this Hardhats club is doing. And here's hoping they can keep it going in a big tournament that they're playing in for the first time.
Well, we have a beautiful night for baseball again. There's not a cloud in the sky here as we get set to start this game tonight. And we are actually just a few miles north of Pullman for our game tonight, and the temperature here is 71 degrees as we get set to start the game tonight. Post 22, of course, this is day 3 on their road trip, which began on Monday night with their game in Bozeman, Tuesday night, last night in Hamilton, Montana, when they played the Bitterroot Red Sox, and tonight here in the first day of the Palouse Summer Series against Crew out of Spokane. Post 22 will play single games tomorrow, again on Friday, and again on Saturday. And the 4 games that they play between now and Saturday determine whether they will be able to reach the final championship session on Sunday. There are 4 different pools, each containing 5 teams. The winner of each pool will advance to Sunday's play with a semifinal games and a final game. And so for Post 22 to be able to advance to the Sunday round, they're going to have to win their pool here, which is the Olerud pool, named after the famous Major League and college baseball star John Olerud. And Olerud had a great career at Washington State and also at with the Toronto Blue Jays, who he's most well known for. So what are the other teams, Mark, that will join us in this division?
Well, we've got the Crew Baseball Club that we're playing tonight, the Washington A's, Toyota Baseball, and Rock Creek. Rock Creek's matchup will be tomorrow at 3 o'clock Pacific time, so that means the start time is 4 o'clock back home in Rapid City. On Friday, the the Hardhats will then take on Toyota Baseball, which we're hearing from Coach Messer in the scouting report is a very gifted ball club, so that should be an interesting matchup. And then rounding out our schedule on Saturday, the Hardhats will then play the Washington A's. So it's looking like a pretty interesting bracket. There are interesting rules that you and I were going over as well, with an 8-run rule after 5 innings, but something that's and you immediately kind of brushed this off because you said that this team has been there before, but there's a time limit. 2 hours and 10 minutes, and no new inning after 2 hours and 10 minutes in all games except the June 25th game on Championship Day will be played, which adds a very interesting wrinkle to this. If you have the patience of a saint out there and it's a narrow game, then the odds are a little more in your favor.
And this, again, isn't something that's totally unusual, because I do recall that the Gopher Classic up in the Twin Cities, a couple of times we've had the time limit for a game. That was a 2-hour time limit. And then once down in Denver, we played in a tournament that also had a time limit. So for those who say baseball is a timeless game, that's not so accurate anymore.
Absolutely not. It's interesting to see, because I was joking with you earlier that's what beer league softball is like back home in Rapid City. You either have 7 innings or the hour to complete the game, whichever one finishes up first. And at that point, if you end up going into the last inning with 4 minutes to go and that's it, then that's it. So it's very interesting to see how all that comes around.
I didn't know they serve beer at the softball games. Here's getting the starting lineups with Mark Benetti.
So for the Hardhats, they'll bat in the top halves of our 7 innings tonight. Leading off, number 11, Walker Paz, defensively positioned at second base. Batting second is number 13, Zach Solano. He will patrol right field. Batting third, number 22, Cooper Pullman, in his home at shortstop. And in the cleanup position is number 23, Eric Petrie. He'll be the designated hitter tonight for the Hardhats. Batting fifth, number 28, Zach Sumption. He'll patrol left field. Batting sixth is number 31, Luke Ferdinand. He will play at first base. Batting seventh is number 21, Timmy Paris. He's the backstopper and catcher. Batting eighth is number 14, Justin Kramer. He's in the hot corner at third. And rounding out the batting order for the Hardhats in the 9th spot is number 12, Connor King. He'll patrol center field. On the mound tonight for the Hardhats is Riley McSherry. Riley comes into this matchup for his 11th appearance of the season and his 7th by virtue of a start. He has a perfect 6-0 record under his belt and 33 2/3 innings of work under his belt. That's 1 full inning shy of Kyle McGuire for the most innings worked on the Hardhats pitching staff. Exactly a 2-to-1 ratio on strikeouts to walks, 30 strikeouts to 15 bases on balls, and a 2.9 ERA. He'll take on Crew Baseball as follows. In their defensive alignment, Colton Stoudemire is on the mound for Crew. Behind home plate is Cade Ginnerich. At first is Mike Peterson. Second, Trevor Parro. At shortstop is Tanner Parker. And in the hot corner at third is Brody Woods. Left to right in the outfield, Cole Hattenberg, Brady Eri, and Thomas Edwards. And the reason that we went so fast through the starting lineup is, Tom, it looks like we're ready to start.
And here we go with Colton Stoudemire, the big right-hander, throws the first pitch of the game, and it's high for ball 1. We're underway at 7:52 Pacific time this evening, 71 degrees, our game time temperature. Paz takes the next pitch, a fastball in for a strike. 1 ball, 1 strike. Walker hitting .431 on the season. He has 11 doubles, 2 home runs, and 28 RBIs. Swung on a drive to center. Eri backs off a few steps and makes the catch, drifting over towards left center field. And Paz retired on a line drive to center. So 1 down in the post-22 first, and that'll bring up Zach Solano.
And something to note here, too, Tom, the field dimensions have normalized a little bit. 335 to left, 330 to right. For the life of me, I can't find a distance designation out in dead center, but it looks pretty far.
Well, it's more than it was last night. Breaking ball is a strike to Solano, hitting .364. In fact, last night's distance to center field is the same as it was to left field here tonight. Swung on a line drive past the third baseman into left field for a base hit for Solano. And Zach has a 1-out single here in the top of the first inning. Leading the team in home runs with 6 and tied for the team lead in RBIs with 39. And he's tied with the next hitter here, Cooper Bowman, who leads the team in hitting at .474. 4 home runs and 39 RBIs. Right-handed batting post-22 shortstop. Stoudemire working out of the set. He delivers, and a breaking ball misses outside for ball 1. Colton Stottlemyre, we checked with the dugout of Crew, and they said there's no relation between Colton Stottlemyre and former Yankees great Mel Stottlemyre. 1 ball and no strikes on Cooper. Here's the set by Stottlemyre. The right-hander's pitch swung on, a high fly ball out into deep left field. And that ball is going, and it is over the left field fence for Cooper Bowman. A 2-run home run, Cooper's 5th of the season, his 40th and 41st RBIs. And Post 22 takes a 2-0 lead here in the top of the first inning.
That's back-to-back games now in which Cooper Bowman's baseball has left the ballpark off of his bat. What an absolutely monstrous hit. It was great over the left field side. No doubter. And you watched Hattenberg, the left fielder, just chase, but he ran out of real estate. The ball didn't. Traveled out, and the hard hat strike first up to Rip.
So that'll bring up the designated hitter, Eric Petrie, hitting at .405 on the season. Takes a fastball outside from Stottlemyre for ball 1. And the 1-0 pitch. Swing and a miss. A slider down and away, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike. Eric has 7 doubles on the year, 2 triples, 5 home runs, 24 RBIs, and takes that pitch down low for a ball. And it's now 2-1. Zach Sumption is the on-deck batter. 2 balls and 1 strike. The pitch on the way is fouled off to the right, and it's 2-2. Stottlemyre's pitch. Breaking ball is swung on, a fly ball to center. And it's Hirai. A few steps to his right again to make the catch, and there are 2 down. And that'll bring up Zach Sumption, the Post 22 left fielder. Zach hitting .438, 5 doubles, 5 triples, 2 home runs, 23 RBIs for the right-handed batting Post 22 left fielder against right-hander Colton Stottlemyre, who delivers a strike. And it's no balls and a strike.
Watching Stottlemyre early has a lot of movement on his breaking pitch. It's very pronounced bend.
Ground ball past the mound, right over second base and on into center field. So Sumption has a ground ball single to center with 2 outs here in the first inning. 2 runs are in for Post 22. That's their 3rd hit of the inning. And it brings up Luke Ferdinand, the first baseman.
Good on Sumption on that at bat because Stottlemyre went back-to-back curveballs on his pitches. Sumption waited for it the second time. He's been seeing the ball so well as of recently, so good on him to get the poke up the middle.
And the pitch to Ferdinand is a big bouncing ball wide at first, goes to the second baseman, who picks it up and throws to the pitcher, covering in time for the out. And that retires the side second to first, and Post 22 scoring a couple of runs in the first inning on the 2-run homer by Bowman. 2 runs, 3 hits, no errors, and 1 left. First half inning of play, it's Post 22 2, and the Crew team out of Spokane, nothing. You're listening to Post 22 Baseball from the Anytime Auto Sales Press Box and on ESPN Radio, Rapid City.
With more than 300 pediatric experts in 35 specialty areas, Sanford Children's offers the care that matters to your family. At the Castle of Care, we are committed to bringing in the latest and most advanced technology and services to care for your children. And having the largest team of specialists in the region means your child can receive expert, individualized care close to home. At Sanford Children's, we promise to put your family first. To learn more, visit childrens.sanfordhealth.org. With more than 300 pediatric experts in 35 specialty areas,
This offense off to a great start thanks to Cooper Bowman's 2-run home run, and now it's up to Riley McSherry on the mound and the defense surrounding him to take on the Crew Baseball Club batting order. We'll go ahead and give you the order for Crew. Leading off is number 4, Tanner Parker. Defensively, he was at shortstop back at the top of the first. Batting second is number 3, Trevor Paro. He is playing second base. Batting third is number 27, Cade Ginnerich. He is the catcher. And in the cleanup position for Crew is number 8, Brady Hirai. He is patrolling center field. Batting fifth is number 9, Thomas Edwards. He's patrolling right field. Batting sixth, number 32, Brody Edwards in the hot corner at third base. Batting 7th is number 36, Mike Peterson, the first baseman. Batting 8th is number 7, Cole Hattenberg, patrolling left field. Rounding out the batting order for Crew is number 11, Garrett Stevens, the DH. Hardhats defensive alignment has Riley McSherry in his perfect 6-0 record on the mound, paired up with his battery mate and catcher, Timmy Paris. Luke Ferdinand's at first, Walker Paz at second, Cooper Bowman at shortstop, Justin Kramer in the hot corner at third. Left to right in the outfield, Zach Sumption, Connor King, and Zach Solano.
Left-handed batting, Tanner Parker hits the first pitch and bounces it out to Walker Paz at second, who throws to Ferdinand for the out. So the Crew shortstop, Tanner Parker, retired second to first on the first pitch from McSherry. So Riley has one quick out. And that'll bring up Trevor Perro, the second baseman. Right-handed batter. Here's Riley's pitch on the way, and a breaking ball over for a strike. Outfield is straight away. Here's the pitch on the way, and a fastball sails inside, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike. Riley looking into Timmy Paris for his sign here. He's got a 1-1 pitch on the way. Swung out a high foul down the left field line, down towards the corner, and giving chase but not being able to get to it is Sumption, and the count is 1 ball and 2 strikes. The field here, it's funny how the fields that we've played in here, they all have a beautiful background, a mountain background with lots of trees. The entire field is in shade, but the hills beyond the stadium are still in the sunlight. Here's the 1-2 pitch. The roller back to McSherry, who grabs it on the pitching mound and throws to first for the out. So Perro retired pitcher to first, 2 down in the Crew first inning. And that'll bring up the catcher, Cade Gingrich.
It's important for Riley to throw strikes and attack the batter because Riley's only one of 4 pitchers who has a strikeout to walks ratio of 2 to 1 or higher. So he's at 30 to 15 right now. Doesn't have a K just yet. Just attack, and good things will happen.
There's a ground ball hit into right field, just out of the reach of Walker Paz, who went far to his left to try to get to the ball. And Gingrich on the first pitch has a ground ball single to right with 2 outs here in the bottom of the first inning for Crew. And Post 22 leading by a score of 2-0 as we get the pinch runner in for this Crew team for the catcher.
That is one of the tournament rules that is allowed. You can have a courtesy runner for the catcher. It's not mandatory, but if you do want it, it is available. And obviously, Crew is taking advantage of that rule.
Connor DeGeest is that pinch runner as Braden Herai, the center fielder, steps in. Left-handed batter. Here's the set, McSherry's pitch. And a breaking ball is too low for ball 1. Ferdinand holding with the runner at first. DeGeest, the pinch runner. Or the courtesy runner, to be more accurate. Here's the set by McSherry. The pitch on the way. Fastball had him swinging. A fastball down around the knees off the outside corner, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike on Herai. One ball, 1 strike. Not a bad lead off at first by the pinch runner DeGeest, and the pitch is a strike, though, to Herai, and it's 1-2. Again, Riley able to hit the outer half of the plate. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Riley's popping right now, and he's in the driver's seat. Couple of pitches to work with. He might go off speed, try and take the vision of Herai away.
Throw to first base drives the base runner back. 2 outs for Crew. Again, they're out of Spokane. 1 ball and 2 strikes to count. Here's the set and the pitch. Runner goes, and a ground ball off the glove of McSherry. Rolls out to Bowman at short. Turns, throws to first, and got him. What a play by Cooper Bowman, something we've seen all year from Cooper. A quick comebacker which deflected off the glove of McSherry, deflected out to Cooper Bowman at shortstop, who threw on over to first base for the out to retire the side. No runs on a hit. And 1 man left on base. No post 22 errors. 10 pitches that inning for Riley McSherry. And at the end of 1 inning of play here, it's 2-0. The Hardhats leading. Crew out of Spokane, you're listening to Post 22 Baseball from the Anytime Auto Sales Press Box and on ESPN Radio, Rapid City.
You don't have to try to hit a home run when you're hitting singles and doubles all day. Consistency wins games, and it's key to helping achieve your retirement goals. At Weitzel Financial Group, they believe they're there to help with your own ideals and goals. Head toward your field of dreams. Call Weitzel Financial Group for a consultation at 348-1152. Kurt Weitzel is a registered representative and investment advisor representative with and offers securities and advisory services through Commonwealth Financial Network member FINRA SIPC, a registered investment advisor. Weitzel Financial Group, 817 9th Street, Rapid City, South Dakota, 57701.
2-0 Post 22 after the first inning of play here. Good inning for Riley McSherry. 10 pitches. Gave up a 2-out single, and that was it.
Don't forget, Tom, tomorrow's game against Rock Creek begins at 3 p.m. Pacific time. That means a 4 p.m. start time for everybody back home in Rapid City. However, tomorrow's game will not be broadcast on ESPN Radio, nor will Friday's game. So, the old standby, go to Hardhats-TV if you want to catch all of our action, especially tomorrow and Friday.
Timmy Paris looks at a strike from Colton Stottlemyre, and his next pitch is swung on, a ground ball hit to the left of the shortstop, who's over and gloves it to his left and fires to first. Parker with a nice play to throw out Timmy Paris short to first. Have we seen some good shortstop play the last few games?
Tyler Nixon last night for the Bitterroot Red Sox. We've seen Cooper Pullman all season long, and now it's short Tanner Parker. What a play that was. Was not easy at all.
Timmy was hitting .307 before grounding out there, and here is Justin Kramer, the third baseman, who's been one of the hottest hitters on the team. Justin raising his average up to .418 now, with 9 doubles, 3 homers, and 17 RBIs. And the pitch is down low. Coinciding with Justin's great improvement at the plate has been his fielding. His fielding has really taken off here in the last couple of weeks. After a little bit of a shaky start since coming back from college. Foul ball back to the screen. And it's a 1-ball, 1-strike count on Justin Kramer. Justin with 3 home runs on the season. Here's the pitch. And it's low and outside. Post 22 hitting 3 home runs in the game last night at Bitterroot. Now have a total of 30 home runs on the season for this Hard Hat team, and this is their 33rd game. There's a high pop foul off to the right out of play, and Kramer has a count of 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Now, I know people look at Justin's batting average of over 400 and they think, why is he at the bottom of the lineup? Well, believe it or not, that's a crucial piece to have at the bottom of your lineup, somebody hitting 400 like that. He comes through in the clutch for this club.
Pitch on the way. It is a ball inside. Full count now, and Kramer with 1 out. Nobody on for Post 22 here in the top of the second. They lead 2-0. The pitch on the way is fouled out of play to the right. Count runs along at 3-2. Connor King will bat next for the Hard Hats. What a beautiful drive we had this morning and this afternoon from Missoula to Pullman. Pitch on the way. Breaking ball misses outside, and Kramer draws a walk. First walk given up by Stottlemyre, and that brings up Connor King, the center fielder. Connor hitting .259. Couple of home runs now, 21 RBIs. Peterson holding with Kramer now at first base. King, a left-handed batter. Throw goes to first base, and the runner is back.
Now look for Justin to possibly take off here. He's 6 for 7, on stolen base attempts this season. He's definitely at the top of the Hard Hats list, stolen base percentage.
Pitch on the way, and it is a strike, belt high over the outside corner. No balls and a strike. Kramer takes his lead. The pitch, fastball high and outside. 1 ball and 1 strike. One and one at the count. Here's the pitch on the way. Strike on the outside corner. A breaking ball clipping the outside edge. And it's 1-2 on King. Kramer takes his lead off of first with 1 out. Stottlemyre from the stretch delivers. Low and outside. 2 balls and 2 strikes. I guess stocky would be a good word to describe Stottlemyre. Big-chested young man. 2 balls and 2 strikes. And he makes a quick throw to first, but Kramer is back. There was a game played right before ours here tonight. As Stottlemyre sets, he delivers. Wide for ball 3, and it's a full count. The Spokane Dodgers beat Northwest Reign by a score of 9-1. Here's the set by Stottlemyre. The runner goes. The pitch is high and outside. It's ball 4. Back-to-back walks. Kramer to second. King is at first. 1 out here on the top of the second. The leadoff hitter, Walker Paz, coming up. Walker lined out to left center. Hirai, the center fielder, caught it in the first inning. Catcher Gingrich runs the ball back out to Stottlemyre here. So Walker up with 2 on, 1 out. Peterson, the first baseman, is going to play up in front of King at first base. Stottlemyre from the set, and he delivers. And it's a strike, a fastball on the outside edge. One strike on Paz. Here's Stottlemyre's pitch. Swung on, a fly ball again to center field. In comes Hirai. Relatively shallow center, makes the catch for the second out. So with 2 down and runners at first and second, that'll bring up Zach Solano, who singled to left in the first inning.
Brady Hirai has been busy today. He's already had 3 registered outs on defense. He's robbed Walker Paz twice. He's robbed Eric Petrie once. So he's been quite busy out there in straightaway center.
Solano up with 39 RBIs. Second on the team now as he looks at a strike. Cooper Bowman, who hit that 2-run homer in the first inning following Solano's single, now has 41 to lead the team. So if Zach can hit one out, he'd retake the lead in RBIs. There's a wild pitch, a pitch down in the dirt, blocked by the catcher, and the runners move up. Kramer to third, King to second here with 2 out. A 1-1 count on Solano.
Well, this does not spell good for Crew because Zach Solano's batting .365 with runners in scoring position, and instead of having 1 man there, now he has 2 to knock in. And Zach really likes those high-pressure moments.
He swings and hits a foul off to the right out of play, and it's 1-2. Well, that means it doesn't make any difference to Zach Solano if there's anybody on or not, because he hits .364 on the season regularly and .365 with men on base. So he's 1 point better with runners in scoring position. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Here's the pitch on the way. A big breaking ball, a little bit high. And it's 2 balls and 2 strikes. Two and 2 the count. Here's the pitch on the way. Inside, turns Zach away, and it's a full count. Met one of the umpires before the game and didn't know he was an umpire at the time, but he said he's from Moscow, Idaho. Well, that's interesting. Pitch on the way. High ball 4, and they'll load it up. Glad I didn't say anything to disparage umpiring. Nice enough fellow, though. And he says, I said, how many games do you ump? Will you umpire the whole tournament? He says, just as assigned.
Well, the way that you started off that story, I thought you said something disparaging to umpires.
What was that?
I don't know. It's just that you said, at the time I didn't know he was an umpire.
Cooper Bowman looks at a strike. Well, he wasn't wearing glasses, so 1 strike on Cooper. Hit the 2-run homer over the left field fence in the first inning.
Doesn't mean he doesn't have contacts on.
Here's the pitch on the way. Swung on. There's another fly ball to deep left field. Way back. It is going, gone. A grand slam for Cooper Bowman following a 2-run homer in the first inning. And Cooper now with a team-leading 6 RBIs to Ty Solano. And it's now 6-0 in favor of the Hard Hats.
That was a hanging breaking pitch, and the second it came out of Stottlemyre's hand and I saw Cooper Bowman cock back for the swing, I knew he was going to crush that ball. Stottlemyre left that hanging. Bowman saw blood in the water, and now it's 6-rip within 2 swings of his bat.
Eric Petrie takes a strike over the inside corner from Stottlemyre, and it's 0-1. Eric flied to center his first at bat. Cooper Bowman, I don't know how to describe his play. The pitch is a strike. You can use the word amazing. That doesn't do it justice. Outstanding, that doesn't do it justice. Out of this world, doesn't do it justice. 0-2 pitch. Line drive up the middle and a base hit for Petrie. Well, post 22 now. Total of 5 hits in the game. And they have a runner at first again with 2 outs. And here's Zach Sumption, who singled to center his first time up. And the coach for Crew is coming out of the third base dugout.
Going back to what you were talking about with Cooper Bowman, Tom, I think we've exhausted every positive adjective that the English language has to offer. I mean, he's just played such phenomenal baseball, and now 2 swings of his bat has given this team a 6-0 advantage.
And that single by Eric Petrie has chased the starting pitcher Stottlemyre for Crew. And we have a left-hander coming in. And this will be a new pitcher for Crew. And it will be Garrett Stevens, who was in as the designated hitter. So Stevens will come in to pitch. He's a left-hander. Stevens is a senior, just graduated from high school. Also can play the outfield when he doesn't DH or pitch. And he'll face the hard hat hitter Zach Sumption here with Petrie at first base.
Quick stat line on Colton Stottlemyre here, Tom. He only went an inning and 2/3, 5 hits, 6 runs. All of them were earned. 3 walks, not a single strikeout to speak of, and he did it all on 43 pitches. 15 of his pitches came in the first inning, so 28 in the second. And Tom, again, you look back at the scorecard, almost all the damage the Hard Hats did came off of 2 outs. When you think about it, they got back-to-back walks with 1 out, but then you retire Walker Paz, you're 1 out away from getting out of the jam. Before you know it, you hand Zach Solano a free pass, and then Cooper Bowman does what Cooper Bowman does best.
How many pitches did Stottlemyre throw?
43.
Think of this. 43 pitches he threw. 2 pitches cost him 6 runs out of those 43 pitches. Here's Zach Sumption, single to center in the first inning. So Stevens, the left-hander, looks in for the sign. Here's his set. A look at Petrie in the pitch. Swing and a miss for strike 1. Pitch breaking down and in on Sumption. Zach went into a little tailspin there for a couple games, but he's back on track. And a strike at the knees. Good pitch there by Stevens, and he's quickly ahead, no balls and 2 strikes. 6 RBIs for Cooper Bowman now. He has 45 on the season to lead the post-22 team. Here's the pitch. High and outside, a fastball, and it's 1-2. So Cooper leads the team in average. And let's see. Leads the team in RBI, stolen bases. Pitch on the way, a swung on and missed for strike 3. So Stevens comes in and strikes out Sumption to win the inning. But Post 22 scores 4 runs in the second inning on a couple of hits. There were 3 walks in the inning. No Spokane errors and 1 man left on base. Post 22 6. And Spokane Crew nothing as we go to the last half of the second inning. You're watching Post 22 baseball as you can all season long on Hardhats-TV from post22baseball.com. We're broadcasting from the Anytime Auto Sales Press Box. And you're listening to Post 22 Baseball on ESPN Radio, Rapid City.
Trusted Choice Insurance agents are independent agents.
I pledge to be your guide, not only to insurance, but to insurance companies.
They don't actually work for any one insurance company.
And to use my independence to identify the coverage that's best for you.
This means they can customize policies from several companies in ways that other agents just can't. And they commit to that.
And I pledge.
In writing. Trusted Choice. You need an independent insurance agent.
Black Hills Insurance Agency, a tradition of service since 1949.
Trusted Choice Insurance agents are independent agents.
I pledge to be your guide, not only to insurance, but to insurance companies.
They don't actually work for any one insurance company.
And to use my independence to identify the coverage that's best for you.
This means they can customize policies from several companies in ways that other agents just can't. And they commit to that.
And I pledge.
In writing. Trusted Choice. You need an independent insurance agent.
Black Hills Insurance Agency, a tradition of service since 19...
Here's Thomas Edwards, the right fielder, left-handed batter for Crew, and Riley McSherry's first pitch is a belt-high fastball, but it's inside. Ball 1. 5, 6, and 7 hitters against Riley here in the second, who gave up a 2-out single in the first inning, had 3 ground ball outs, and delivers low, and it's 2 balls and no strikes. Outfield straightaway. McSherry delivers. Swung on a line drive and a diving catch by the shortstop. No, it went in off his glove. And Cooper, I thought he came up with that, but it went off and on into left field for a base hit. Edwards with a line drive. It was about knee high when Cooper went after it. Shoot, I thought he had that.
I thought so too, Tom. And then Zach Sumption came sprinting in from left. Awfully close.
So it's a leadoff single, hit number 2 for Crew. And here is Brady Woods, the third baseman, taking a strike at the knees on the outside edge. Brody Woods is the hitter. Here's the set by McSherry. The 0-1 pitch, breaking ball outside, 1-1. Ferdinand holding with Edwards at first base. Post 22 has turned 36 double plays on the season. This their 33rd game. Pitch on the way, and it's low for a ball, 2-1. Post 22's errors and double plays all even going into this game, 36 apiece, which is just unheard of in Legion baseball. 2 balls and a strike. McSherry's pitch on the way, and he misses low and away. And it's 3 balls and 1 strike.
Riley's really skirted away here from Brody Woods. Hasn't really given much to attack with outside of the 1 called strike that he's had. So I'd like to see him come back, pound the strike zone for a little bit because you're behind. So you got to give him either something to protect or something to burn him with.
3-1 the count. Here's the pitch to the right-handed batter, and he takes a strike on the inside edge. Full count now to Woods. Three balls and 2 strikes. Pitch on the way is swung on a soft line drive on 1 hop. Picked up by Paz to his left. Throws to second, and Bowman short hops a low throw, and they get the lead runner. That was a tough play for Paz, who went to his left to field it. He does get the lead man, Edwards, at second. Woods is the base runner at first with 1 out. And it brings up the first baseman, Mike Peterson.
Very tough play there on both sides of it. Walker short hopping and then trying desperately to get that throw to Cooper to make sure the lead runner's out.
Throw to first base, and the runner is back. Nice ball field here, and they have a golf course beyond the center field, right center, and right field fences. Here's the pitch on the way, and a fastball strike on the inside corner, and it's 0-1. Too many trees on that course for me, Mark. It's pretty narrow fairways.
Tom, there can only be one tree on a golf course. I would still manage to hit it. So this is nothing.
Here's the pitch. Breaking ball in for a strike. I hope it's not the tree of good and evil. 2 strikes now on Peterson. 1 out. Woods at first base for Crew. Last half of the second. And post 22 out in front, 6-0. Here's the set by McSherry. Riley's pitch. And it's just outside at the belt, and it's 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Riley really wanted that one, Tom. That was awfully close to that outside black on the plate. He was looking for a backwards K. Didn't get it, but he still has plenty of pitches to work with here ahead 1-2.
1 ball and 2 strikes. And a throw to first again. Here's the set. The runner does not have a very good lead off at first. The pitch to Woods, he slices it foul off to the right. Still 1 ball and 2 strikes. One of the strong areas of the post-22 pitching staff this year, they've talked about the number of free passes they've issued and things like that, but the staff as a whole allowed only 5 home runs all season. That's a very good total. Here's the pitch. Swung on, a foul back. Peterson still with a count of 1 ball and 2 strikes. King out in center now has just shifted a step or 2 towards right center. McSherry working out of the stretch. He delivers. Fastball, strike 3 on the inside corner. Good pitch. Takes care of Peterson for the 2nd out. First strikeout for Riley. So a runner at first, 2 outs.
Well, good on Riley to pound the strike zone the way he did. He forced a lot of foul balls, forced Peterson to protect. Ends up burning him inside to get that big 2nd out.
Here's Cole Hattenberg up. The left fielder takes the pitch low and outside for ball 1. The number 8 hitter for Crew. One and 0 the count. Here's the set. And the pitch. That's a good breaking ball over. 1 ball and 1 strike. Off-speed pitch from Riley. 1-1 on Hattenberg.
Liking the off-speed from Riley tonight. He's not only locating it well, but he's selecting when to use the pitch well. He's not overbearing with it. He's mixing up his selection, which you like to see from him. He's as cool as a cucumber out there, and why not? He's got 1 out left in this inning, and his team, specifically Cooper Bowman's giving him a 6 spot to work with.
1-1 the count. Here's Riley's pitch on the way, and a breaking ball low and away. And it's 2-1. 2 outs for Crew, a runner at first base in Woods. McSherry from the set. He delivers. Inside for a ball, and the count goes to 3-1.
Riley's been in this scenario before where he's been behind. He's battled back, though. And he's come to register the out. He let his defense take care of it the last time. So let's see how he responds down 3-1 here.
Here's the set, the 3-1 pitch. Strike on the low outside corner, and it's a full count. Three balls and 2 strikes. The runner will be going here with 2 outs in the last of the second. Post 22 with a 6-0 lead. Riley McSherry works from the set again. The runner goes. The pitch is outside at the knees for ball 4. So Hattenberg walks. Runners at first and second, and brings up Garrett Stevens, who is the pitcher. Started the game as the designated hitter. But Colton Stottlemyre could only last an inning and 2/3. And Stevens came in as the pitcher from the DH position. So no DH in the game anymore for Crew. Here's the set. The pitch on the way is swung on, a bouncing ball to first base, a foul ball. Ferdinand got to it behind the bag, but in foul territory, and the count is 1 strike. No balls and a strike. Runners from first and second with 2 out here for Crew in the bottom of the second. McSherry's pitch is swung on and hit high in the air off third base. Kramer into foul territory, and Justin has it to retire the side. Stevens fouls out to Kramer. No runs, 1 hit, no Rapid City errors, and Crew leaves a couple of men on base. So at the end of 3, it's the Hardhats 6 and Crew nothing. They're out of Spokane area. We head to the 3rd inning, post-22 baseball from the Anytime Auto Sales press box and heard exclusively on ESPN Radio Rapid City.
Coke Zero goes with things like this. This. And this. Coke Zero tastes like this.
He shoots! He scores!
It sounds like this. It feels like this. So when the game is on, try it with this. Coke Zero. Real Coca-Cola taste. 0 calories, 0 sugar.
Why do so many business people trust us? Well, we're pretty nice folks, of course, and we really know our stuff. Black Hills Insurance, a tradition of service since 1949.
Luke Ferdinand starts things off for post-22 here in the 3rd inning. Luke grounded out to second. His first at bat, left-hander Garrett Stevens delivers to the left-handed batting post-22 first baseman. It's a strike at the knees, 0-1. Stevens works out of the set with nobody on, delivers. That just missed outside, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike. 6 runs on 5 hits for post-22 through the first 2 innings. No runs on 2 hits for Crew. And a check swing, a pitch inside, and it's 1 ball. Make it 2 balls and 1 strike. And the 2-1 pitch. Strike on the outside edge. And it's 2-2. And the pitch. Swing and a miss. Pitch away from Luke, and there's the first out here in the 3rd inning.
Well, if there's anything I've noticed about Stevens in only 2 batters that he's faced, he's a very fluid pitcher. His motion looks effortless, and he gets a lot of velocity on the ball. He's painted the outside a lot on the lefties that he saw, and now he has his first righty to deal with here in Timmy Paris.
And Paris lines one to right field, coming in and making the catch, running towards the foul line is Paro. And there are 2 down. Paro, I should say. So Paris is out. 2 up and 2 down in the post-22 3rd inning. Here's Justin Kramer, who walked and scored in the 2nd. And the pitch inside and off the mid of the catcher, and it's ball 1.
Well, credit Stevens. He's retired all 3 batters that he's seen so far, which was definitely different from Colton Stoudemire, his starting counterpart to this ballgame. Only went an inning and 2/3.
1 ball and no strikes on Kramer. Here's the pitch on the way, and he checks his swing, but the pitch is a strike at the knees. 1-1. And the pitch. Low for a ball, 2-1 on Kramer. Two-one pitch. Swung on, a drive out in the left center field, and that's going to be caught by Hirai, the center fielder, running over into left center field to retire the side, and it's a 1-2-3 inning for Garrett Stevens. He's retired all 4 men he's faced since coming on in relief. 2.5 innings to play. Post 22-6 and Crew nothing. You're listening to Post 22 Baseball on ESPN Radio, Rapid City.
Great faces, great places. Wet paint? Yep. And around here, when great places need a little love, great faces band together. Each year, First Interstate Bank employees help local organizations put a fresh coat of paint on homes of those in need. A small gesture, perhaps, but one that puts smiles on faces and strengthens bonds in the places we serve. First Interstate Bank. It's you and I together.
Top of the batting order will come up for Crew here against Riley McSherry, who's given up 2 singles in 2 innings. Riley has a walk and a strikeout. And a 6-0 lead as we hit the bottom of the 3rd inning. Tomorrow, remember, our game will only be on Hardhat-TV. And we will begin our game at 4 o'clock Rapid City time with the Hardhats taking on Rock Creek. So tune in. You can listen or watch on Hardhat-TV tomorrow at 4 p.m. And the same on Friday. Hardhat-TV will be the only outlet for our broadcast. And our starting time on Friday is at 1 p.m. There's a strike, and it's 0-1 on Parker. Actually, our starting time will be 2 o'clock Mountain Time on Friday. Parker grounded out to second, his first at bat, left-handed batter, and McSherry misses high and outside. 1 ball and 1 strike. Here's the pitch on the way, and it skips to the plate, and it's 2 balls and a strike. Some of the players who hadn't experienced what we did the last couple of nights with the games in Montana, in Hamilton and Missoula being so far west. Here's the pitch, swinging a foul back, 2-2 on Parker. So far west in the Mountain Time Zone that it really didn't get dark until after 10 o'clock. And some of the players were kind of amazed about that. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Here's the pitch on the way, and it swung on and rolled foul off to the right. And the count runs along at 2-2. Trevor Perro, the second baseman, on deck, and then it'll be Cade Gingrich, the catcher. Two balls and 2 strikes. Here's the pitch on the way. Swinging a foul, this time off to the left. Still 2-2.
Well, these protective swings have really ballooned Riley's pitch count. He only had 10 in the first inning, 23 last inning. He's about to throw his 40th overall in the ballgame right now. So he's already on a 7-pitch at bat here with Parker, who's still deadlocked at 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Here's Riley into the windup, the 2-2 pitch, and he misses down low and inside. It's a full count. Post 22 pitchers on the season as a staff have allowed their opponents to hit .255 against them, which is a very respectable total. Riley McSherry, his opponents are hitting a little higher than that, .272, but that was up around .300 about 3 starts ago. So Riley has really cut down on the number of hits to innings pitched his last couple of starts. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Here's the pitch on the way. A smash to short. To his left, Bowman. He fields it and fires to Ferdinand for the out. Parker retired short to first. That'll bring up Trevor Perro, the second baseman.
Well, the Cooper Bowman show just keeps rolling on. He's responsible for all 6 Hard Hats runs. He's made some pretty stellar efforts at plays and some stellar plays to begin with. He has 2 registered outs in this ballgame, but arguments could easily be made for 3 there, Tom, with the almost web gem-esque catch that could have been just an inch away from his glove.
Perro hit back to McSherry, his first at bat. Here's the pitch on the way. He bluffs a bunt and takes it inside for ball 1. One and 0 the count. 1 out for Crew here in the last of the third. And McSherry throws it down low, and it's 2 balls and no strikes. Outfield straight away, infield normal depth, pitch on the way, strike, fastball on the outside corner, and it's 2-1. Two balls and a strike. Here's the pitch. Swung on, chopped to third. Kramer backs up behind the bag to make a long throw to first on target, and that's a very fine play by Justin Kramer. He backed up to play that ball in the second hop, about 10, 12 feet behind the third base bag, and then Justin fired it across the first base with a strong, accurate throw for the second out.
His exchange between when he got the ball in his glove to his hand for the throw, if you blinked, you would have missed the whole thing, and that's what made the play. His strength and accuracy was great, but it was how fast he got that off and then still had enough power and accuracy to get it across the diamond.
There's a breaking ball missing outside. 1-0 on Cade Gingrich, the catcher, who singled to right with 2 outs in the first inning. Riley looking for a 1-2-3 third. He has a 6-0 lead. Here's the pitch on the way. That is a strike at the letters, a breaking ball, and it's 1-1.
And to your point earlier, Tom, that's the Justin Kramer that we all know can play that kind of baseball. His fielding has significantly improved. He's doing things as well with his bat, like you pointed out earlier.
Here's the 1-1 pitch. Fastball swung on, line to left field. Sumption is there, and he makes the catch. Had to come in a couple of steps, but no problem for Zach as Gingrich lines to left, and it's a 1-2-3 inning for Riley McSherry. At the end of 3, post 22, the Hard Hats lead Crew out of Spokane by a score of 6-0 here from the Anytime Auto Sales Press Box and on ESPN Radio, Rapid City. Six runs, 5 hits, no errors for post 22. No runs, 2 hits, no errors for Crew at the end of 3 innings of play. Let's move on to the 4th, and here's Mark Benetti.
Hard Hats transition from defense to offense after a 1-2-3 inning, their first of the ball game here against Crew. Riley McSherry getting the job done. He's pitched 3 scoreless innings of baseball, and now he will watch his team's bats go to work, starting off with number 9 in the order, Connor King, and then back to the top we go to Walker Paz and Zach Solano. Those 3 gentlemen in that order scheduled to hit in this top half of the fourth. Like Tom said earlier, 6 runs, 5 hits, no errors for Post 22. No runs, 2 hits, and no errors for Crew Baseball Club out of Spokane. So Connor King now comes up. He's up against Garrett Stevens, who was the designated hitter, but was inserted after an inning and 2/3 of Colton Stoudemire's start to come in and pitch. First pitch to King's a called strike after he bluffed a bunt and pulled back. 0-1 the count to King, who walked and was part of that grand slam that Cooper Bowman hit. He came around to score in. 0-1 the count here to the Hardhats center fielder, and just like that, he is behind 0-2 on another called strike at his knees. Stevens, as I mentioned earlier, he looks so effortless on the mound. A fluid motion in his delivery and a lot of velocity, too. 0-2. Swung on and fouled, and King stays alive. So no balls, 2 strikes the count here to King. With Walker Paz patiently waiting on deck. Back-to-back lefties for the lefty Stevens to work with. And the 0-2 skips low, and King looks at his first ball. 1-2 now the count here to the Hardhats center fielder. And here's the 0-2 again. Swung on and missed, strike 3. And that is the 3rd strikeout in relief for Garrett Stevens. 1 up, 1 down for the Hardhats here in the top of the 4th. That's going to bring up Walker Paz. Paz is 0 for 2 with a pair of flyouts to center field. He's made great contact on the ball, just hasn't been rewarded for it. This will be the 20th pitch in relief for Stevens, who has retired everybody that he's faced. First pitch swung on and missed on a slider away. 0-1 the count here to Paz. Zach Solano on deck, 1 for 1, a single, a walk, and a pair of runs scored. Both times he's been batted across thanks to Cooper Bowman. Next pitch to Paz misses inside for ball 1. At his ankles, 1-1 now the count to the Hardhat second baseman. 1 out here in the top of the 4th. The base path is empty here for Paz. And as 1-1 from Stevens is low and away, 2-1. Six 0 is the Hardhats lead here in the top of the 4th. Cooper Bowman, a 2-run jack in the top of the 1st, then a grand slam jack in the top of the 2nd. 2-1 to Paz. Low and inside. 3 balls and a strike now the count. From the lefty Stevens to the lefty Paz. Looks like our home plate umpire is going to do some housekeeping on home plate. So we have some time to sit back and relax. Don't forget, tomorrow's broadcast and Friday's broadcast will only be on Hardhats-TV. Tomorrow's game slated for a 3 p.m. Pacific time start. That means 4 o'clock back home for everybody in Rapid. 3-1 misses outside for ball 4, and Walker Paz draws a 1-out walk and sees the base path for the first time in the ballgame. And that is going to bring up Zach Solano, 1 for 1 with a single, a base on balls, and a pair of runs scored. For Walker Paz, that is his 17th walk of the season. He's only struck out 8 times. That's exactly what you'll get from Paz, as his check down is not there in time from Stevens. So Solano's been on the base path twice. He's looking to do that for a 3rd time. And his first pitch is inside for ball 1. Cooper Bowman on deck. Both times he has swung the bat. The ball has left the field. And it has resulted in all 6 runs that the Hardhats have. Brief conference on the mound here between Gingrich, the catcher, and Stevens, the pitcher. And it looks like we're all done with the talking, and we're back to playing baseball. So Stevens looks in for his sign. Paz will take his lead off of first. Another check to first, not there in time. They're aware of how lethal Walker Paz is on the base path. Paz has 7 stolen bases. He's been caught twice, though. 7 for 9. 1-0. Swung on, and that ball is pushed high in the air to right field. Underneath it is Edwards, and Edwards makes the catch, and Paz will trot back to first base. So an F9 in the book. 2 down, still a man on first. That's going to bring up the scorching, flaming, red-hot Cooper Bowman, however you want to call it. Cooper has done just about anything you could think of in this ballgame. 2 for 2. 2-run jack and a grand slam, and now they've picked off Walker Paz, and the throw to second is way in time, and that will end the inning. So an unfortunate base running gaffe. 1-4 caught stealing in the book ends the inning, so Cooper Pullman will lead off the top half of the fifth. For the Hardhats in the meantime, it's no runs, no hits, no errors. Base path was empty. And at the end of 3.5, we've officially completed half of the ball game, but the Hardhats still have their 6-0 lead to protect as they go back to their respective defensive positions. We'll be right back in just a few moments, folks. You are listening to us broadcast from the Anytime Auto Sales Press Box here on ESPN Radio, Rapid City.
Camping World is here to help you connect to adventure and explore the outdoors with friends and family, offering new and pre-owned RVs to fit every budget and thousands of parts and accessories for any need. Camping World has it all. With over 125 supercenters nationwide, you're never far from America's #1 RV dealer. No matter where your adventures take you, whether you need an RV, parts, or service, Camping World is here to help you every step of the way. Visit Camping World in Rapid City or shop campingworld.com today.
Why do so many business people trust us? Well, we're pretty nice folks, of course, and we really know our stuff. Black Hills Insurance, a tradition of service since 1949.
Back now to the bottom half of the fourth inning, where the Hardhats look to protect a 6-0 lead that they have here against the Crew Baseball Club out of Spokane, Washington. Exactly half of the game has been played through 3.5 for the Hardhats. 6 runs, 5 hits, no errors. And for Crew, it's no runs on 2 hits, no blemishes on defense. Braden Hirai, the center fielder, the lefty, is up. And McSherry's first pitch is outside for ball 1. 1-0 the count here to Hirai, who grounded out to Cooper Bowman to end the bottom half of the first. He's 0 for 1. Full windup for McSherry, and he deals his 1-0. And that's a strike called inside at the letters. Ball and a strike now, the count to Hirai. He's followed up by Thomas Edwards, the right fielder, and Brody Woods, the third baseman. 3 gentlemen scheduled to hit in the bottom half of the fourth. 1-1 pitch from McSherry. Breaking pitch, that's fought off foul. And the count goes to 1-2 for Hirai. So the Hardhats look to protect a 6-0 advantage here over Crew. Ball and 2 strikes the count. McSherry's looking for his second K in the scorebook. Full windup, and he deals to Hirai. Swung on, and the ball is hit to second base. Walker Paz is there on the hop throw to first in time. 4-3 in the scorebook for the Hardhats on defense. 1 up, 1 down. We'll bring up Thomas Edwards, the left-handed hitting right fielder. Edwards on the ball game, 1 for 1. He singled to lead off the bottom half of the second, but was retired in a 4-6 fielder's choice that Brody Woods hit to, and that gentleman is on deck. So McSherry, full windup, his first pitch to Edwards. He shows bunt, and the pitch just misses low for ball 1. Awfully close pitch. One ball, no strikes the count. Hardhats up 6-0, looking to keep it that way here in the bottom of the fourth. Base path is empty. 1-0 to Edwards. He shows bunt, and it misses low again. 2 balls, no strikes to count. So that's twice he has shown bunt. Will he do so on 2-0? Justin Kramer's playing parallel with third base. He is not on the grass. Let's be mindful of his positioning. He's starting to creep up a little bit now. 2-0 from McSherry. No bunt is showed. It's a called strike on the outside corner at the knees of Edwards. 2-1 now the count. Two balls and a strike now the count. And McSherry deals way outside. 3 balls and a strike now the count. McSherry already has a base on balls in this ball game. He's hoping not to inflate that number to 2. And 3-1 pitch is low for ball 4. So Thomas Edwards draws a 1-out walk. He will trot to first with 1 out. Double play ball in effect in the inning now, if there's any silver lining to that. And that is now going to bring up a pinch hitter, Chase Grillo, now up in place of Brody Woods. So Chase Grillo, the righty, is now up. He takes over for Brody Woods. Woods went 0 for 1, grounded into a fielder's choice, but was safe on the base path. And first pitch to Grillo misses low on a breaking ball. 1 ball, no strikes. So 1 ball, no strikes here to Grillo. Man on first, 1 out here in the bottom of the 4th. The Hardhats trying to preserve a 6-0 lead. 1-0, misses low. Paris gets the block, and holding it first is Edwards. 2 balls, no strikes to count. So unfortunately, McSherry hasn't located the strike zone very well in this inning, outside of his first batter. So he's looking to get back on the horse here. 2 balls, no strikes to count here to Grillo. Pinch hitting for Woods. And the 2-0 swung on, and that is scorched foul into the Hardhats dugout. Are pretty dang close to it. 2-1 now the count. For Grillo. Two balls and a strike. McSherry just threw a 60th pitch. About to throw number 61 in the start. 2-1. Misses low. And holding at first, thought about stealing, was Thomas Edwards, but he holds. 3-1 now to Grillo. Back-to-back at-bats in which McSherry's been behind in a 3-1 hole. Last time, it resulted in a base on balls. He is hoping that is not the case for a second straight batter. 3-1. Swung on. Balls hit up to the Pullman. He gets the stop. Touches second for 1. To first for 2. Got it. Double play. A 6-3 double play, and that will end the bottom half of the 4th, and the Hardhats get out of that one. No runs, no hits, no defensive errors charged to post 22. 1 man left on the base path. And at the end of 4, the post 22 Hardhats keep their 6-0 lead intact. We'll be right back with the top half of the 5th inning, folks. Cooper Bowman just ended this inning. He will lead off the next one when we return in just a moment. We'll be right back, folks, here on the official radio home of Post 22 Hardhats Baseball here on ESPN Radio, Rapid City.
You don't have to try to hit a home run when you're hitting singles and doubles all day. Consistency wins games, and it's key to helping achieve your retirement goals. At Weitzel Financial Group, they believe they're there to help with your own ideals and goals. Head toward your field of dreams. Call Weitzel Financial Group for a consultation at 348-1152. Kurt Weitzel is a registered representative and investment advisor representative with and offers securities and advisory services through Commonwealth Financial Network member FINRA SIPC, a registered investment advisor. Weitzel Financial Group, 817 9th Street, Rapid City, South Dakota, 57701.
Only one defensive substitution to catch you up on. The pinch hitter from last inning, Chase Grillo, will move into third base for the former third baseman Brody Woods. And as of right now, that is it. Garrett Stevens is still on the mound here for Crew. And now, leading off for post 22, the gentleman who began the end of the last inning with the 6-3 double play, Cooper Bowman, is now up. Cooper's been sensational in this ball game. Forget the defensive side. How about his offense? A 2-run blast and a grand slam. 2 for 2 in the ball game. He's knocked in all 6 runs the Hardhats have on the board. His first pitch, a called strike at his knees on a fastball. 0-1 count to Bowman. 6 runs, 5 hits, no errors for post 22. No runs, 2 hits, no errors for Crew out of Spokane. 0-1 from Stevens. Swung on, and that ball's hit high in the air to right center field. That ball has some distance on it, and it goes past the right fielder, charging Edwards, and all the way to the warning track, and Bowman is going to take a double and hang on there at second. Cooper Bowman is 3 for 3. All of his hits are extra base hits. A 2-run home run, a grand slam, and now he starts off the top half of the 5th with the leadoff double to bring up the DH Eric Petrie, who's 1 for 2 with a single. So here is the first pitch from Stevens to Petrie. That's a check swing, called strike. 0-1 the count to the Hardhats DH.
Out of the 5 teams in Post 22's pool here at the Palouse Summer Series, Post 22 and Crew the only 2 teams that are playing today. All the other teams begin play tomorrow.
Next pitch is fouled. No balls, 2 strikes the count here to Petrie. Well, the Hardhats get lucky in that respect. They don't have to play a doubleheader at all until potentially Sunday if they make the bracket. Check down to second, not there in time. Bowman is safe.
Spokane Dodgers, who are in another division, another pool, they won 2 games today, so they have the early advantage in their pool.
No balls, 2 strikes the count from Stevens to Petrie. A double take to second, and he deals. That pitch is low and in the dirt, but getting the block was Cade Gingrich. Ball and 2 strikes now to Petrie. Petrie has Bowman on second to work with. No one out here in the top of the 5th. The Hardhats enjoying a 6-0 lead, looking to pile on even further. 1-2. That misses low, and the count evens up at deuces for the Hardhats designated hitter.
Post 22's game at 4 p.m. Rapid City time tomorrow against Rock Creek will be played at Washington State University.
2-2 to Petrie. Swung on, and that ball is ripped foul down the third baseline. And the count will hold even at deuces.
And you can only access that game on Hardhat-TV tomorrow. Post22baseball.com.
2-2 again to Petrie. It's a drop strike 3. Petrie's going to run to first, and he's there, and Bowman's going to take advantage of third. Petrie was the beneficiary of a skip off of the leg pad of Cade Gingrich, the catcher, as strike 3 skipped away from him. So it is a strikeout, but Petrie advances. And Bowman's now 90 feet away from giving the Hardhats a 7-0 lead. Men on the corners with nobody out. That'll bring up Zach Sumption, who's 1 for 2 with a single and a strikeout. So you can count that as 4 strikeouts for Stevens in relief. But only 3 of them have retired a batter. So men on the corners here for Sumption. Any solid contact out of the infield will most surely score Bowman from third. And Stevens steps off the rubber. He's going to think this through for a couple extra seconds. Sumption 1 for 2. He singled in his first at-bat, struck out to end the top half of the second. And the first pitch, called strike. At the knees of Sumption outside corner, and he starts behind 0-1. 90 feet to his right is Petrie on first. 90 feet to his left on third is Cooper Bowman. Men on the corners, no one out top of the 5th. 0-1 to Sumption. Swung on and missed. And a check to third's not there, and Petrie's going to take advantage of second base on the throw. So now it's no balls and 2 strikes to count to Sumption, and he has 2 men in scoring position to try and work with here. Stevens checks, and here's the 0-2. That misses low, skips away from Gingrich, the catcher, but not too far away, so Bowman doesn't try to take advantage of home plate. 1-2 now to Sumption. 6-0 is the Hardhats lead. And quite possibly, depending on what happens in this inning, for the first time, the Hardhats could get a run batted in. That is not off the bat of Cooper Bowman. Sumption's up. He has men on second and third. A base hit could potentially score 2. One ball, 2 strikes to count. And Stevens deals to Sumption. That pitch is low, and it skips to the side of Gingrich, but once again, Bowman stays tethered to third. 2-2 now, the count to the Hardhats left fielder with Luke Ferdinand, the lefty, on deck. He is 0 for 2 with a ground out, second to pitcher, and a strikeout. 2 of now 4 that Stevens has. 2-2 to Sumption. Swung on, and that ball is pushed high in the air. Right field side, it is foul, and it will go out of play. And the count will still hold even at 2-2.
Cooper Bowman's going to receive a free token for a free sundae from Dairy Queen. He'll have 2 of them he can collect tonight after the game.
So that's what you were so enamored with in that book. I was wondering, you were intently reading a passage there. 2-2 to Sumption. Skips low and away. The count goes full.
Well, I was trying to figure out how I can buddy up to Cooper tonight and get one of those free Sundays.
Hey, I'm going to get to him first.
No, you're not.
You got to get to the back of the line there, bud.
I'm going to let you handle the postgame.
Payoff pitch coming up now to Zach Sumption. And Stevens deals. That is low for ball 4. Stevens thought that was strike 3 at the knees, but it was just low. It's a base on balls. His second issued in relief. And the bases are now loaded for the lefty Luke Ferdinand. So this is a big opportunity here for the Hardhats to strike. And by the way, Tom, still no outs here in the top of the 5th.
And remember, it's an 8-run rule. So Post 22 has a chance here to collect some runs and possibly, not to get too premature here, but end the game on an 8-run rule after 5.
Ferdinand looks at strike 1 on the outside corner at his knees. 0-1 the count to Ferdy, as they call him in the dugout. He is 0 for 2 in this ball game, a 4-1 ground out and a K. Here's the 0-1. Called strike 2 on the outside corner, and quickly he's in an 0-2 hole. Ferdinand has every base occupied. Sumption at first, Petrie at second, Pullman at third. There are no outs registered in this top half of the 5th. The Hardhats have a 6-0 lead. Stevens deals the 0-turn to Ferdinand. Swung on, and that ball is hit to second. Stop is made on the play by Paro. He gets 1 out at first, and a run will score. So it's a 4-3 RBI ground out for Luke Ferdinand, and the Hardhats have now extended their lead to 7-0 with men on second and third and 1 out here in the top of the 5th.
Luke knocking in his 12th run of the season. Petrie at third and Sumption at second down.
So now here comes Timmy Paris with a chance to possibly knock in another one. Men on second and third again. Petrie's now 90 feet away from scoring. Zach Sumption's on second. First pitch to Paris is low and inside, but a nice block by Gingrich. He calls for time, and Paris starts off with a 1-0 count. Paris on the ballgame, 0 for 2. A ground out to short, a fly out to right. 1 ball, no strikes, his current count. He is 1 out, 2 men in scoring position to work with, and his team now has a 7-0 lead thanks to the RBI ground out of Luke Ferdinand. 1-0 to Paris. This is low and away, and the count evens up. The count pushes now to 2-0. Justin Kramer's on deck, 0 for 1 with a walk, a run scored, and a fly out to center. 2 balls, no strikes to Paris. Stevens deals. Low and inside. 3 balls, no strikes. Timmy Paris, a chance to knock in that big 8th run that Tom was talking about moments ago. It is not a 10-run rule in this tournament. It's an 8-run rule. 3-0 to Paris. And that is low for ball 4. So Paris draws a walk. That is now 3 issued by Stevens in relief. To go with 4 strikeouts. Bases once again are loaded. Here comes Justin Kramer.
Carter Deming's going to go in as the courtesy runner for Paris, which they allow here in this tournament.
Not mandatory that the catcher does have to be substituted, but it's nice to have, and it's good that the teams take advantage of it. It gets other people in the lineup, too, and allows them to contribute.
I'm trying to say this diplomatically, but most catchers aren't fleet of foot. So that courtesy runner comes in handy. You know, there is one other reason why they like to use that in some tournaments.
First pitch to Kramer, a called strike inside. He's behind 0-1 with the bases loaded.
For the speed of the game, it allows the catcher to put his equipment on and be able to take the field right away at the end of any particular inning. If he's stranded on the bases, it always takes extra time.
0-1, called strike inside. And quickly, Kramer's in an 0-2 hole here with the bases loaded. And 1 out, top of the 5th. His team's up 7-0. Post 22 leading over Crew out of Spokane. Here is the 0-2 to Kramer. And that rides way up high. 1-2 the count. Yeah, catcher's not necessarily the fleetest of foot, some of them. Some have to unhook a plow or drop off a refrigerator before they run. You know.
Send your emails to Mark Benetti.
1-2. Swung on, and that ball is hit high in the air. right side of the infield. Paro comes over from second. He falls. He makes the catch. There's going to be a play at the plate, and the throw will easily be in time to retire Eric Petrie, and that is going to end it. So it was a pop 4-2 double play to end the top half of the fifth. Well, the Hardhats score one more run on the power of one hit. There were no errors charged to Crew, and there were 2 men left on the base path. 4.5 in the books. Hardhats have extended their lead to 7-0. We'll take a quick recess and be right back here on the official radio home of Post 22 Baseball on ESPN Radio, Rapid City.
Great faces, great places. Wet paint? Yep. And around here, when great places need a little love, great faces band together. Each year, First Interstate Bank employees help local organizations put a fresh coat of paint on homes of those in need. A small gesture, perhaps, but one that puts smiles on faces and strengthens bonds in the places we serve. First Interstate Bank. It's you and I together.
Riley McSherry comes back onto the mound for the bottom half of the fifth inning. Post 22 has a 7-0 lead over the Crew Baseball Club out of Spokane, Washington. Through 4.5, it's Post 22, 7 runs, 6 hits, no errors, and for Crew, no runs on 2 hits and no errors. We have another pinch hitter coming up for Mike Peterson. That is number 14, Connor DeGeest. So he takes over and looks at ball 1 from McSherry to start off the bottom half of the fifth.
We saw him earlier in the game as a courtesy runner.
Hey, he was a courtesy runner for Cade Gingrich when he got on with his 2-out single in the bottom of the first. 1-0 is swung on and torched foul right field side, and the count evens up to a ball and a strike. So it'll be DeGeest followed by Cole Hattenberg and Garrett Stevens, barring any other substitutions. 1 ball, 1 strike to count. And McSherry deals. Swung on and it's fouled.
Well, 1 week from tonight, it's the start of the Firecracker Tournament in Rapid City, hosted by Camping World, sponsoring the tournament again this year. Great baseball, 7 days, with the championship game on Tuesday, July 4th. But it all begins next Wednesday when Post 22 hosts Las Vegas at 7 p.m. Next Wednesday.
McSherry agrees on a sign, and as soon as he does, DeGeest calls for time. Ball and 2 strikes, his count from McSherry. Mike Peterson, who did bat where DeGeest is batting, has his only strikeout. McSherry a pitch away from 2. Quick pitch, and he just missed low and inside. And the count evens up 2-2. We haven't seen McSherry pull off the quick pitch in a while. 2 balls, 2 strikes to count. And McSherry deals. Swung on and just fought off again. And the count will hold even at 2-2. Big news in the NHL today with the Las Vegas expansion draft. Eric Holla left your Minnesota Wild. How do you feel about it?
No comment.
Well said. 2-2. Swung on and missed. Strike 3. And that's the second strikeout for Riley McSherry in this inning. 1 up, 1 down for the Hardhats on defense to bring up Cole Hattenberg. If it makes you feel better, the Rangers lost Oscar Lindberg to Vegas in the expansion draft. I was a little disappointed about that. Young, fast Swedish forward. So now here comes Cole Hattenberg. And his first pitch is a breaking ball called strike at his knees. 0-1 his starting count. Hattenberg walked in his first at-bat. That was back in the bottom of the second. Full wind-up for McSherry. 0-1. Breaks inside. Ball and a strike. Garrett Stevens, the pitcher, is on deck. Looks like he will not be substituted. We can see him in the on-deck circle now. Here comes the 1-1. Swung on and the ball's hit to second. Walker pauses there. corrals the ball, throw to first in time. 4-3 in the scorebook. 2 up, 2 down. Now brings us to Garrett Stevens, the former DH, now pitcher. And he actually didn't take it at that as the DH. He only took one as the pitcher. He came in for Colton Stottlemyre, who started the first inning in 2/3. Colton Stottlemyre, as we earlier determined, not related to Yankee great Mel Stottlemyre. First pitch to Stevens. Swung on and fouled. 0-1 the count. 2 outs here in the bottom of the 5th. The Hardhats in command. 7-0 is their lead. And the 0-1 misses high and away, and the count evens up to a ball and a strike. One and one now the count. Base path is empty. 2 outs bottom of the 5th. And McSherry's 1-1 pitch to Stevens. Swung on and the ball's hit up the middle. But Paz can't make the stop. It squips through into center for a base hit. So Stevens now 1 for 2 on the ball game. He gets a 2-out single, and that'll bring us back to the top of the order to the shortstop, Tanner Parker. Parker's 0 for 2 in the ball game. He's hit both positions in the middle infield. His 4-3 ground out at second and a 6-3 ground out at short. Actually, the first time in the ball game that he's not leading off an inning. So he has a man on first and 2 outs here in the bottom of the 5th. And first pitch from McSherry to Stevens. To Parker, misses outside for ball 1. Tomorrow start time 4 o'clock against Rock Creek. And the ball gets by Luke Ferdinand on a check down. It goes all the way out into foul territory. Stevens is going to take second, and now he's going to take third. Hardhats taking their time getting the ball to the infield, and they finally get it there. So an unfortunate E1. That is the first error of the ball game. And Parker has 1 ball, no strikes to worry about. And he has a man 90 feet to his left to try and knock in for their first run.
Well, that's, again, a play that I'm not real fond of. You're ahead 7-0. 2 outs. You really want to focus on that hitter.
And the 1-0. Swung on, ball's hit to second. Walker Paz is there. On the hop, throw to first in time, and the Hardhats get out of the jam. Well, the Hardhats got away with one there. No runs on a hit, 1 error charged to post 22. And there was 1 man left on the base path 90 feet from scoring. 5 full innings are in the books. Post 22 still in the driver's seat. They have a 7-0 lead over Crew Baseball Club out of Spokane, Washington. We'll take a quick breather. We'll be right back in just a few moments with the top half of the 6th. You're listening from the Anytime Auto Sales Press Box to ESPN Radio Rapid City, the official radio home of your Post 22 Hardhats.
With more than 300 pediatric experts in 35 specialty areas, Sanford Children's offers the care that matters to your family. At the Castle of Care, we are committed to bringing in the latest and most advanced technology and services to care for your children. And having the largest team of specialists in the region means your child can receive expert, individualized care close to home. At Sanford Children's, we promise to put your family first. To learn more, visit childrens.sanfordhealth.org.
5 full innings have been played here in Colfax, Washington, in Game 1 of the Palouse Summer Series that, for the first time ever, the Post 22 Hardhats are participating in. They have a 7-0 lead over their first opponent, the Crew Baseball Club out of Spokane, Washington. As we gear up for the top half of the 6th, 9-1-2 due up for Post 22. That would, of course, be Connor King, and then back to the top to Walker Paz and Zach Solano. Stats across the board through the first 5 innings of play for the Hardhats. It's 7 runs on 6 hits with the error charged down defense to Riley McSherry on the errant pickoff. And for Crew, no runs on 3 hits and no errors defensively. Mark Benetti and Tom Rudebush alongside you for all the action throughout this entire road trip and the summer. We're on ESPN Radio Rapid City, 105.7 FM, 1340 AM, and as always on Hardhats-TV. That can be found all summer long on post22baseball.com. Garrett Stevens back on the mound for Crew, and his first pitch to Connor King misses low for ball 1. King on the ballgame's 0 for 1 with a strikeout and walk. He came around to score as part of Cooper Bowman's second inning grand slam. 1-0. Buzzes the tower high and inside. 2-0 now to King, the center fielder, for post 22. Walker paws 0 for 2 with the walk. Second baseman's on deck. 2-0. Called strike inside at the knees to King. And the count goes to 2-1. Top of the 6th, bases are empty, nobody's out, and the Hardhats are looking to expand even further upon a 7-0 advantage over Crew. Next pitch is fouled by King. And his 2-1 count now balloons to 2-2. Stevens looks into Gingrich's catcher for a sign, and from the stretch deals 2-2. And that misses low and away, and Connor King is looking at a full count. Second time he's drawn the count full in this ballgame. The last time it resulted in a base on balls. Lefty on lefty matchup here. And Gingrich deals his payoff low and inside for ball 4, and Connor King's done it again. 2 free passes to first. That's the 4th walk issued by Stevens in this relief appearance. That'll bring us back to the top of the order to Walker Paz. Again, 0 for 2. He has a base on balls of his own. Paz was picked off in the top of the 4th to end the inning. King goes. First pitch, called strike. Throw to second is not in time. And Connor King has a stolen base. Good on him to turn on those twin turbos in his cleats and make it 90 feet up the baseline. No balls and a strike here to Paz, but now he has a runner in scoring position to work with. And the 0-1 swung on, and that ball's pushed high in the air to left. Underneath it in left is Hattenberg, and he makes the catch. So Paz is retired on the F7. He's now 0 for 3 on the ballgame. Pair of flyouts to center, and now 1 to left. And that'll bring up Zach Solano with a man on second, and 1 out here in the top of the 6th. Hardhats up 7-0. Solano on the ballgame is 1 for 2, a single, a base on balls, and a pair of runs scored. Gingrich, a fake check to second. Nobody's covering the bag. So King stays put. Hardhats begin play tomorrow at 4 o'clock Mountain Time. Our start locally is 3 o'clock. First pitch to Solano. Rides inside for ball 1. And we will not be broadcast on ESPN Radio tomorrow or Friday, so you can catch us as always on Hardhats-TV, which can be found on post22baseball.com. Stevens deals. And the 1-0 misses outside to Solano. 2 balls, no strikes for the Hardhats right fielder. Connor King, the center fielder. Across from him on the diamond at second. 1 out here in the top of the 6th. The Hardhats have a 7-0 lead. King goes. 2-0 is high for ball 3, and there will not be a throw to third. Good on Connor King. A pair of stolen bases on this round. And Zach Solano's looking at a 3-0 count. And Connor King standing 90 feet to his left at third base. And the 3-0. Inside, ball 4. So Zach Solano, for the second time, has been issued a free pass. It comes with 1 out. There are men on the corners, and that is going to bring up the dynamite, red, flaming, smoking hot, whatever you want to call it, Cooper Bowman, who is 3 for 3, a 2-run home run, a grand slam, and a double. All 3 times he's at the base path, he's come around to score. Men on the corners for Bowman and 1 out. And his first pitch rides high and outside for ball 1. Eric Petrie, the DH, is on deck. He is 1 for 2 in the ballgame. Check to first. Not there in time. Solano gets back. King thought about taking home, but he decides to trot back to third base. 1 ball, no strikes to count here to Cooper Bowman, who has just been simply sensational for the Hardhats tonight. 1-0, rides inside. Solano goes to second. The throw's not in time, and King holds at third. He will not move. So Solano gets a stolen base. And Bowman deals with a 2-0 count. 2-0 pitch. Swung on and missed. And the count goes to 2-1 now for the Hardhats shortstop. 3 for 3, a 2-run jack, grand slam, and a double. And 3 runs plated. Men on second and third for Bowman. And here comes his 2-1 pitch. Swung on, and that ball is foul. Count evens up at 2-2 here with 1 out in the top of the 6th. And the Hardhats still have their 7-0 lead intact. Eric Petrie, the DH, is on deck. Bowman is ready. Stevens agrees on a sign. From the stretch, the lefty will deal the 2-2. And it's low and inside for ball 3. So Bowman's now looking at a full count. And now Stevens is in jeopardy of his 5th base on balls issued if the payoff pitch does not go his way. 3-2 to Bowman. Swung on, and that ball is fouled. He stays alive. And that looked like a good start to his relief appearance, Tom. He retired the first 4 batters that he saw. He has 4 strikeouts to his credit. But a lot of free base runners are starting to add up. Payoff pitch number 2 to Bowman. Swung on, and the ball is hit to short. King's going to score from third. Throw to first is not in time. And 2 runs are going to score off of it as Solano comes in and the throw's not there. So Cooper Bowman gets an RBI single, knocks in 2 runs in the process, and the Hardhats lead is now 9-0 with a man on first and 1 out here in the top of the 6th.
7 RBI. Not a bad night's work.
And now here comes Eric Petrie with a chance to keep the train rolling forward.
Other run scoring when the ball got away in an error. So it's 9-0 now, post 22 leading.
So the first error of the ball game now charged.
Actually, they're second because of that.
Petrie hits one sky high to center. Underneath it is Hirai, and Hirai's going to make the catch. Bowman will retreat back to first. F8 in the book under Petrie, 2 down now. And that's going to bring up Zach Sumption. You were saying about the error.
Well, they had the error earlier that they didn't put up on the, was it a pickoff play at first?
That was for Riley McSherry.
Oh, okay.
From
I
Riley
apologize, Mark. I'm sorry. So each team does have 1 error. See, I should never doubt you. You're impeccably accurate.
I like to think so. I have my good moments. Here comes Zach Sumption now, and his first pitch misses low in the dirt for ball 1. Sumption on the ball game is 1 for 2, a single, a strikeout, and a walk. He has Cooper Bowman standing on first. The RBI single under his belt. Cooper Bowman, by the way, 4 for 4 in this ball game. And you mentioned too, Tom, 7 out of the 9 runs have been knocked in off of his bat. Just remarkable. Here's the 1-0 assumption. Off-speed pitch misses outside, 2-0. To the Hardhat left fielder. Luke Ferdinand's on deck if he can keep this train rolling forward. If not, the Hardhats will go to 2, 3, and 4 defensively to deal with. Bowman takes off for second. The throw gets out into center field. Now he's going to take off for third. And Bowman's going to hold up. So an E2 will allow him to take third base. Second error of the inning here for Crew.
Cooper 4 for 4 tonight. His up to the minute average now in the season is 495.
2-0 out assumption. Misses in the dirt. It's blocked on the play by Gingrich. 3 balls, no strikes. So 3-0 now the count here to Zach Sumption. Luke Ferdinand on deck. Should he get a free pass or put the ball in play and stay safe? Here comes the 3-0. That's a called strike inside at the belt of Sumption, and the count will go to 3-1. Hardhats now have a 9-0 lead thanks to an RBI single from Cooper Pullman. It did score 2 runs, however, he won't get credit for one. A throwing error caused the second to come across. 3-1, it swung on, and that ball is hit high in the air to left. It has legs, it has the distance, and it has gone all the way to the wall. Sumption knocks in Cooper Pullman. It's a 2-out RBI double, and the Hardhats lead is now 10-0 here with 2 outs in the top of the 6th. So Zach Sumption decided he wanted to join Cooper Bowman's party of knocking in as many runs as possible. That's going to bring up Luke Ferdinand with a chance to keep it rolling. And his first pitch, a called strike outside corner. He's behind 0-1. Ferdinand on the ball game is 0 for 3, but he does have an RBI under his belt, an RBI ground out. That came the last time he was up. Here comes his 0-1. And that misses low and away, and the count evens up to a ball and a strike. 1-1 now to the Hardhats first baseman, with Sumption standing across from him at second. 2 outs in the top of the 6th. Hardhats have a 10-0 lead now. And a fake check to second. We don't get a throw. So as it stands, the Hardhats in this inning have scored 3 runs on the power of 2 hits. And 2 errors have been charged to Crew. 1-1 to Ferdinand. Misses low. 2-1. And I think at this point, Tom, Stevens is really starting to fatigue. He's been out at a very long relief appearance here for Colton Stottlemyre, who started off the game, and it's starting to show. Two-one from Stevens. Just missed outside. 3 balls and a strike to Ferdinand. Three balls and a strike here to Ferdinand. With Timmy Paris on deck, next pitch is fouled. And the count will go full for the Hardhats first baseman. Timmy Paris on deck, 0 for 2 with a base on balls. He's looking for his first hit of the ballgame. Payoff pitch to Ferdinand. Swung on and fouled, and he stays alive. Well, that ball hit something metallic. That was quite a large clanking sound.
That was a clink instead of a clink. Is that correct?
Payoff pitch. Low and away, ball 4. And yes, that did sound like a clank. You are correct. Six base on balls now, charged to Stevens in relief to 4 strikeouts. And that will now bring up Timmy Paris. He had to take off his leg pads before he could step into the batter's box. 2 outs, he has men on first and second here in the top of the 6th, and a 10-0 lead. And his first pitch, a called strike on a breaking pitch inside. 0-1 his count. Paris again on the ball game is 0 for 2. With a base on balls. Ground out to short, and a fly out to right. 0-1. Misses low and inside. Count evens up at 1-1. If Paris is the final out, 2, 3, and 4 are due up for Crew in the bottom half of this inning. If Paris keeps it going, Justin Kramer's on deck. 1-1. Swung on and fouled into the backstop in front of us, and the count goes to a ball and 2 strikes. And if Kramer comes up to bat, then all 9 Hardhats in the order will have taken a couple of swings. 1-2 the count here to Paris with 2 outs, top of the 6th. His team is up 10-0 over Crew. And the 1-2 pitch. Swung on, and that ball is hit high in the air, but foul and out of play. Lather, rinse, repeat, a ball and 2 strikes. Justin Kramer on deck is 0 for 2 with a base on balls, a run scored. Ended up flying into a 4-2 double play. A P4-2 double play, I should say. That not only retired him on the pop out to second, but caught Petrie taking home. 1-2. High and away. Deuce is now the count. It's been quite a long top half of the sixth here, Tom.
Yes, it has.
First and second are occupied here for Paris. Ferdinand on first, Sumption on second. 2-2. Caught him looking. Strike 3 on the inside corner. And Timmy Paris goes down with a backwards K in the book. That is now the 5th strikeout issued by Stevens in relief, and it will end the top half of the 6th. Well, the Hardhats end up scoring 3 runs on the power of 2 hits. There were 2 errors charged to Crew. There were 2 men left on the base path for the Hardhats. One was in scoring position. 5.5 innings are in the books, and they are 3 defensive outs away from taking their first win of the Palouse Summer Series against Crew, a club out of Spokane. 2, 3, and 4 are due up in the order for Crew. We'll be right back with the bottom half of the 6th in just a few moments here on the official radio home of Post 22 Hardhats Baseball on ESPN Radio, Rapid City.
Coke Zero goes with things like this. This. And this. Coke Zero tastes like this.
He shoots! He scores!
It sounds like this. It feels like this. So when the game is on, try it with this. Coke Zero. Real Coca-Cola taste. 0 calories, 0 sugar.
Well, Post 22 is 3 outs away from taking their first win of the Palouse Summer Series. Riley McSherry is back on the bump in what has been a sensational start. Hasn't allowed a single run on 3 hits. He does, however, have an error under his belt. McSherry has thrown 76 pitches. And we'll look at 2, 3, and 4 in the Crew order. Trevor Parrow, followed by Cade Gingrich and Brady Herai. And the first pitch from McSherry, a called strike. And Parrow's behind 0-1. Parrow on the ball game is 0 for 2. A ground out right back to McSherry, and then a ground out to Justin Kramer, where he had to make quite the play defensively. 0-1. Misses low and away. Ball and a strike now the count to McSherry. From McSherry to Trevor Parrow. Cade Gingrich on deck, 1 for 2. Brady Herai in the hole, 0 for 2. Here's a 1-1. Swung on. That ball's hit high in the air to left center field. Sumption's on the run, as is King. And Sumption comes in to make the catch from left. F7 in the book. 1 up, 1 down. That'll bring up Cade Gingrich, and the Hardhats are 2 outs away from closing this one up.
Tomorrow's opponent is a team that's located in northwest Washington State between Seattle and Tacoma. They're called Rock Creek.
Here comes the first pitch to Gingrich, and that misses, low and away for ball 1.
That game starts at 4 o'clock tomorrow only on Hardhat-TV.
Destin Human, our director, giving us the wink of approval. And the 1-0 pitch rides inside. 2-0 now the count here to Gingrich. Destin's pretty fired up for tomorrow. Heck, he's already fired up right now. Hardhats have a 10-0 lead. 2-0. Buzzes the tower high and inside. 3-0 now the count here to Gingrich. He adds quite the element to our team up here, no? I'm going to take that as a yes. 3-0 pitch. That's a called strike. To Gingrich, 3 balls and a strike now the count. 3 of us all have a blast together. It's a great time.
I just really didn't know how to answer that.
3-1. And that misses low and away for ball 4. So Riley McSherry gives up a 1-out walk. And that will bring up Brady Herai, the center fielder, with 1 out here in the bottom of the 6th. And if the Hardhats can turn their second double play of the ball game, then they will trot off the field victorious with a 10-0 win under their belt. Hirai on the ball game is 0 for 2. A ground out to short, ground out to second. Those are prime double play hotspots. First pitch from McSherry. Breaking pitch, called strike outside corner. And Hirai's behind 0-1. No balls and a strike to count. And the 0-1 pitch swung on, and that ball is hit high in the air to left field. Sumption is on his horse. He's over the line. He makes the catch. It's been the Zach Sumption show here in the bottom half of the sixth. He has both recorded putouts. 2 down, a man on first, and quite possibly the ball game falls on the bat of Thomas Edwards, the left-handed hitting right fielder. And now it looks like there's going to be a courtesy runner for Gingrich, the catcher. If I can catch a license plate, it looks like Nick Irwin's going to come in. So because DeGeest is in the lineup, Irwin will take over as the courtesy runner for the catcher. Very surprised they didn't sub him out in the last at-bat. Probably just forgot about it. First pitch to Edwards. Called strike inside corner at the knees. 0-1 the count from McSherry to Edwards, who's 1 for 1, a single and a base on balls on his stat line. No balls and a strike to count. Hardhats need 1 more out to get a big win here. Game 1 of the Blue Summer Series. Next pitch, called strike 2 outside corner.
There is one other thing we haven't experienced yet this year that we're experiencing tonight. Mosquitoes.
Oh, yes. That is true. I've been swatting them away, trying to protect us.
I just thought you were swatting at me.
0-2 is swung on and hit down the first base line. It is a fair ball. It goes all the way out into right field. Coming in is Solano. He gets his cutoff into second, and only 1 base will be taken by everybody on the diamond. So Irwin, the courtesy runner, heads to second, and with a 2-out single, goes Edwards to first. That was a scorcher down the first base line, and Ferdinand tried to backhand it, did everything he could. It just skipped right by him. And down the line, Solano with that cannon kept everybody at only 1 base. So men on first and second, 2 outs. The inning keeps on going, and Chase Grillo is now up. 0 for 1. He came in to pinch hit for Brody Woods, who was originally at third base. And the first pitch from McSherry. Swung on, ball's hit to second. Walker Paz gets it on the second hop, throw to first in time, and that is going to do it. The ball game has concluded, and the Hardhats start off the Blue Summer Series with a big 10-0 win over the Crew Baseball Club. Hats off to Riley McSherry, who went the distance the full 6 innings of shutout baseball, only allowed 4 hits.
So Post 22 wins by a score of 10-0, and for Post 22, their 9th win in a row now, and the season record improves to 30 wins and 3 losses on the season. The final score, the Hardhats 10, Crew nothing. Mark and I will return and have the final totals and the highlights of tonight's Post 22 victory from the Anytime Auto Sales Press Box on ESPN Radio, Rapid City.
Camping World is here to help you connect to adventure and explore the outdoors with friends and family, offering new and pre-owned RVs to fit every budget and thousands of parts and accessories for any need. Camping World has it all. With over 125 supercenters nationwide, you're never far from America's #1 RV dealer. No matter where your adventures take you, whether you need an RV, parts, or service, Camping World is here to help you every step of the way. Visit Camping World in Rapid City or shop campingworld.com today.
Post 22 winning 10-0 with 10 runs, 8 hits, and 1 error, and they stranded 7. No runs, 4 hits, 2 errors, and 7 left for Crew. Post 22 got off to a great start. In 2 innings, they were up 6-0 for Riley McSherry. Cooper Bowman's 2-run home run in the first inning. Cooper Bowman's grand slam home run in the second inning. And then Cooper later had an RBI with an infield hit in the 6th inning. He also had another double, so he went 4 for 4 in the game, scored 4 runs, drove in 7 runs, and made a couple of really nice plays defensively at shortstop. And like we were talking about, it's just words that can't describe anymore sometimes how well this young man is playing. So Cooper with 4 for 4, 4 runs scored, 7 RBIs, Mark. And who else do you want to talk about? Because we could go on for Cooper till what freezes over.
Well, let's talk about Riley McSherry then. How about that? He had a fantastic start tonight for the Hardhats. He went the distance. He went the complete game, 6 inning, 4 hit shutout with the 10-0 win. He only struck out 1, he only struck out 2, but that was all he needed. And double checking on his bases on balls here, Tom, he only had 3 of them tonight. So normally he goes 2-1 in his appearances. He came into the game 30 strikeouts to 15 walks, so he'll go to 32 and 18 on the season. But nonetheless, we saw confident baseball from Riley McSherry, who only allowed 4 hits, and only 1 guy ended up getting to third. So credit on his defense, and to be quite honest, that was on his error. The only time they had a base runner get past second base. So you had the one blemish to worry about. It didn't come back to kill you. He kept the 0 on the board, and he was efficient. I mean, he went 90 pitches in his 6th inning, so good on him.
And, we talked so much about the offense this year and how well they are producing runs, just under 11 runs per game this season. Incredible offense. And, there's one other thing that does outside of, obviously, win you a lot of ball games, but it takes a lot of pressure off the pitcher when he can go out there, especially in post 22, jumps off to early leads. Tonight, 2 runs in the first inning before Riley McSherry took the mound. When Riley took the mound in the bottom of the second, he had a 6-run lead. And that certainly can expand the pitch count at times. I mean, the pitch selection, because you can be a little bit more forgiving, I guess is the word. You can make some mistakes, but you have such a large lead, the pitchers can really pitch relaxed baseball. And I think that's something we've kind of underestimated a little bit this year, of how much that can help the pitching staff.
Absolutely. If you had to equate it to hockey, that's like being a goaltender with the best offense in the league in front of you. You've got some goal support in that point. Riley McSherry has run support, and that plays such a big factor in this game of baseball. How many times have I cracked the Yogi Berra one-liner? Baseball's 90% mental, the other half is physical. Well, a lot of that mental aspect comes down to what are the players doing around you, not even just on defense, but in the batting order as well. And the Hardhats tonight, they got a lot of offense. Granted, 7 of those runs were knocked in by Cooper Bowman, 6 of them in just 2 swings. But Riley McSherry got everything he needed from his club to start off the Palouse Summer Series on the right foot.
And Zach Sumption also had a couple of hits tonight. He was 2 for 3 with an RBI, and he's back in gear also for the Hardhats. So tomorrow, post 22 now, 1-0 in their pool. Will take on at time tomorrow is 4 p.m. Rapid City time. They'll take on Rock Creek. As we said, they're located between Seattle and Tacoma up in the northwest part of Washington State. That's our only game tomorrow, and you can only hear it and watch it on Hardhats-TV. We'll be on the air shortly before 4 p.m. tomorrow afternoon. You can access it from post22baseball.com. 4 p.m. tomorrow for Game 2 for Post 22.
And I think tomorrow you said that game's being played at Washington State University, so that's going to be a fun one.
Yes, it is. Artificial turf. Cooper Bowman will love that.
No doubt about it.
Good night, Mark.
Good night, Tom. We will see you tomorrow at Washington State University's ballpark. We hope to see all of you tomorrow there as we broadcast on Hardhats-TV just shy of 4 o'clock Mountain Time. For my partner, Tom Rudebush, and our director of Hardhats-TV, that guy over there, Dustin Human, this is Mark Benetti saying so long, good night, and we'll see you tomorrow for Day 2 of the Palouse Summer Classic.